The sprinklers come on, and instead of seeing a beautiful mist of water spraying across your grass, you look over and there's a broken sprinkler head spraying water everywhere. But don't worry, fixing sprinkler heads is actually pretty easy. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it. Hey there, I'm Drew, and today we're gonna be looking at 3 different situations when it comes to repairing our sprinkler systems. We're gonna look at minor adjustments, when we need to make a full replacement, when things are just not working as good as they should be, and of course, fixing those obvious breaks. All right, so just the other day, we put in these flowers and some new bushes here in the front flower bed, and I went to turn on the irrigation system manually to get some water in on these, and then I noticed one of my pop-up sprinkler heads was causing a big puddle to form around. It was spraying out of the side, so I knew that I had a problem. The good news is that with these minor adjustments, you may not have to dig up the sprinkler head and replace the whole thing, and so let me show you what I mean. But before we do anything else, we gotta make sure that we turn off the sprinkler system so that we can work on these sprinkler heads. All right, now that we've got those water lines turned off, let's get to work. All right, first we're gonna take a look at this sprinkler head because sometimes it could be as simple as tightening down the cap that's on the top. Other times there could be dirt or debris that's building up on the inside that's preventing the head from popping up or spraying properly. So we're gonna take a look at the cap, we're gonna unscrew it, take a look inside and see if there's any debris that's blocking it. All right, not seeing anything obvious there. So the old one versus the new one. Let's see how it works. All right, now I need to go back over here, turn the irrigation back on so that we can give it a test. I might be doing a lot of back and forth today. Okay, typically these pop-up sprinkler heads are gonna come in a 1/2 inch diameter. And one thing you need to know is that they come in different depths. You need to know that when you're going to the store because you'll get there and you'll be like, well, which one do I buy? Now, as far as the spray patterns are concerned, there's really 2 adjustments that you gotta make. One, you need to have a flathead screwdriver, a very tiny one that is. That's gonna determine the distance of your spray pattern. But then when this pop-up comes out, there's gonna be some adjustments that you gotta make, and I can't do it because it's forced out by the water pressure. But you turn that little knob right there that comes out, and I'll show you that here in a second. That will adjust the fan, the spray pattern, how far and how wide it goes. All right, so it's not pointing in the right direction, but let me show you how easy it is to fix this. When the pop-up sprinkler head comes out, there's 2 little grooves, and you can use that to adjust the pattern or turn the head entirely. Tighten it down so that it doesn't spray as hard. There we go. All right, now that we've gotten that taken care of, let's look at another situation that we might run into. All right, so one of the great things about sprinkler heads is they're really cheap and easy to replace. So if you've got an older irrigation system, you might actually need to do some replacement just because they've worn out and they're not working as good as they should be anymore. So that's why I've decided to go ahead and replace the sprinkler head right over here with a new one. So I've got a lot of Hunter sprinkler heads in my irrigation system. I've only used Hunter, so I kind of wanted to see the difference between an Orbit and Hunter. All right, when we go in here, we want to replace this thing. We're gonna have to dig around it. I like to get this shovel out. Be real careful when we're doing this, not to hit the sprinkler head or any of the pipes that are down there. We want to get down deep enough that we can take that top layer of dirt and, well, a lot of times if it was actually in the grass, we'd be taking up the sod that's around it, trying to keep that together. One thing that you should always factor in whenever you're digging in the ground is what soil type that you've got. It can make a big difference in how you need to approach replacing a sprinkler head. For clay soils like we've got here in Georgia, it's pretty quick and easy to do because you don't have to worry about digging so far down. That clay will mold around the sprinkler heads and stay in place pretty good. So especially if it's wet. I'm gonna turn this entire thing right here. And unscrew it. Very careful. See how that clay forms so nicely? So now we're gonna put the new one in, screw it in, make sure we're nice and didn't even need the channel locks today. Okay, so now that we've got that installed, let's look at adjusting the spray patterns. You're gonna have a tool that typically will come with these 3/4 inch rotary sprayers. And if you look closely here at those two adjustments, you've got the spray pattern adjustment, and then you've got the intensity right here. So this tool right here will go into this bigger slot, and that will adjust the pattern that it's going. So that's where you get in there, you put that down in the slot, it fits in right there. You're gonna adjust it to make sure you get the spray pattern the way that you want it. Now this other one, this other side of the tool looks like an Allen wrench, and it goes right here in this smaller slot. You're gonna adjust the intensity right there, and either it's gonna be a fine or mist, or that spray pattern is gonna be more concentrated into the area that you want it. Check this out. This thing has taken a beating over the years. So replacing that was probably a good idea. I'm gonna get a lot more efficiency over on that area. All right, now I gotta go over here to the corner of the driveway because there's a sprinkler head that I've gotta fix. It's completely broken. So with this one, the sprinkler head is obviously broken. It's gonna need a repair. There's no doubt about it. I can't even get the sprinkler head to pop up anymore. So I'm gonna have to dig around a little bit and see if there's any obstructions. If anything obvious there, could be some rocks that got lodged down in there. And if that's the case, then just remove it and see if it comes back up. But if not, I've actually already tested that, and so I've got my replacement part. And what I'm gonna do here is just replace the internals. So you can unscrew this. You don't even have to worry about digging all the way down there. You just unscrew that, and I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna have to dig around a little bit, probably just use this instead of this big shovel. There are a lot of rocks in here, so that could have been actually a problem. The whole thing's unscrewing, so I may just replace this entire thing. Yep, that's what I'm gonna end up doing. This thing just screwed out so easily. A little audible. Ensure that head is screwed on tight. Okay. So no big deal. Had to call it audible. I was fully intending on replacing just the internals, but the whole thing just screwed out. That actually might be a good scenario, that if you have sandier soil, you don't have to actually dig that far down. You can just replace the internals. But since the whole thing was starting to screw out, I just went ahead and replaced the whole casing and all. So I've got this patch of grass over here that has the tendency to look more yellow than the rest of the yard when you compare it. The rest of the yard will look green and healthy, where this is lagging behind. It's looking a little extra crispy, and crispy not in a good way. It's obviously not getting enough water here. So what I did is I actually checked my sprinkler system here. It wasn't faulty sprinkler heads, it wasn't the spray patterns, it was actually poor planning. So this fence line right here behind me was installed by the previous owners, because the sprinkler head that's supposed to cover this area is on the other side of that fence. And now all it does is it sprays on the other side of the fence. It just covers the hillside that's over there. There's literally just pine straw, there is no grass. So it's completely pointless to have that thing running. So instead of trying to dig up all the lines and trying to move things around, there's an easy fix for this. All you need is a little cap like this. You're gonna dig down, all the way down. You're gonna, instead of replacing the sprinkler head, you're just going to cap it off down there where the pipes are. So you gotta dig down deep. Make sure again that you don't get any dirt or debris down in there in those pipes, and cap it off with this simple fix. Just about $1, save you tons of time. It'll save you tons of money, savings on water, all sorts of things. And it'll also probably give you a little more water pressure throughout the entire yard. Now this is a reminder, as much for me as it is for you. We need to make sure that we're doing a regular checkup on our sprinkler systems, especially during this time of the year. Over the winter months, we've had our irrigation systems turned off, they're not running, and so our sprinkler heads could get knocked around, they could get out of alignment. All sorts of things could happen, you know, like lawn equipment, snow removal, delivery trucks. So let's take advantage of these longer daylight hours, and when we're getting outside and turning on our sprinklers, take a walk around, check each zone, make sure it's running smoothly, make sure it's working properly. And so we're gonna keep an eye out for anything that's not working right, and we wanna take note for anything that's going wrong and not working, and that way we can adjust it get it replaced if we need to. That way we can get it fixed fast. So you can get your system running at full capacity for the entire season. And that way it's a simple step that you can save money, that you can keep your lawn looking its best all season long. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe because I've got a lot more lawn care videos coming out pretty soon, and I know you're not going to want to miss it. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.